whatever amount of horsepower you have and flow and pressure. So it seems like with the verts at 100, that's consuming everything that the system can put out, but maybe it's not on this system. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you know. I mean, definitely that would be. This is. Yeah. So all the hydraulic juice right now goes to the verticals,
All
but
right.
I guess one thing that we've noticed is that with the thrusters, if you have a lot of thruster wash being forced onto the starboard bile box, it
Helps you come up.
impedes it impedes your motion up. Um,
Where's
so that's why
the,
like there's like one direction of lateral that helps with the like um, providing this almost flow around the starboard bile box. Other way doesn't work as well, but
which one's system pressure? Third one up? That guy?
should be. Can change the iris on it if you want to confirm.
The focus? Yeah, I think that's it. There's only one that runs at 3,000, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's 3,000, 1,500.
So
No sound.
if you push the stick all the way forward now,
We can see here on the main hydraulics, that's fine. But if it goes to like 1,900, then it slows down significantly.
yeah, but it's not falling off the face of the earth, is it?
No.
Huh.
There was no sound out there.
Ah,
Sweet.
Good to know. Good to report back.
I think Josh's reboot cured it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So have you seen that pressure fall off? I forget if you can swap it on this.
I haven't seen that
On this
pressure fall
machine.
off, no.
Like if you deflect all the thrusters, you can't. It won't overcome the pump.
If I deflect them all, do you mean if I do full on all of them, or if I... yeah, well, if I do full on all of them, you
You'll
can see
dump.
it here. It'll go to like
You'll dump flow.
1,400 or something like that, and you
Yeah.
just won't do anything. But
Deflecting off the bio box to get a little more lift.
yeah, so let's try it out.
Oh, there it went. Now you're dumping it.
Yeah.
So you don't have a picture of the amp meter. Oh, you do. I don't know which one on the cabinet is your amps.
I can bring it up here if you want. So our 3 phases are there. So the 41 is phase AB. So 41, 38, and 41.
Yeah, so if you get the pressure gauge to dump, you'll probably actually see the amps be less.
So check it. So now it's at 17 with some lateral,
Yeah,
but only in one direction. Actually, if you don't mind actually increasing your speed a little bit.
I don't mind.
Don't have to tell Dan twice. Increase? Sure.
There's a time to be gentle and a time to have it pinned.
Have it pegged.
Pinned
Oh.
against the stop. Floored.
I mean, in theory, if we just like haul in full up, and this has to follow or
So
tear off the
if
door.
you're in stick lock now and you deflect the joystick, does it do anything? Does it overcome the stick lock?
I don't believe so. I haven't tried that, but we can try it. You can see.
Yeah.
Looks like not.
So it locks the joystick out.
Locks it out, yeah.
So the ISE systems, when you have it in what they call cruise, and then you deflect the joystick, it's like uh, when your car, if you set your cruise at 55, then you can step on the gas to pass somebody,
Yeah.
and then you let off the gas and it comes back to 55 again.
Oh, interesting.
And that's the only vehicle I know of that actually works that way, which is the way I think it should work on all vehicles.
Right, yeah.
It's really nice. So when you come in and land and you're, you know, pushed in against something and you hit the lock and it starts drifting off again, you can just push a little more on the stick to pin it again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really nice feature.
Excuse me. The problem is with that is if you then cycle the cruise button, when you come out of cruise, it backs off to the normal joystick deflection. So it's not cruise plus what you gave it. So you're basically, cruise is putting an offset in the joystick as opposed to locking the current command.
Interesting.
But the most other systems use, you have Z bias there. So
Yeah.
you land with Z bias here, don't you? Or you land with your stick.
I land on my stick.
But there's no, so that's basically a trim pot, right?
Right.
But there's no trim pots on this system for X and Y, is there?
No. No, there's nothing on that with no trim for X and Y here for us.
Yeah, so other systems have that. Sebastian, for example, and nowadays finally Ropos, you can land and then just dial the pot in. So
That'd be nice.
yeah, and you can see the,
Just crab it over really
you
quickly.
can see what the percentage of your command is. So if you land, for example, and you have 20% forward stick in, you just turn your trim pot up till it's 25 or so, and then let go of it. Stays there. And then they're encoders, so when you press on them, they go back to 0.
That's interesting. That's cool. That'd be nice to have.
And there's a lot of nice to haves. If you could like incorporate all the different vehicles into one.
Right. That's true.
Every system has some unique, cool thing that other systems don't have.
Yeah. No, that's true. Like a super
Looks
ROV.
like you, got to get in the business of ROV manufacturing.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, the problem then is you have a whole bunch of engineers telling you why you can't do that.
Yeah.
The cruise analogy that I just said,
Uh-huh.
I sat down with the engineer probably 6 times when they were writing the code to make the cruise on the Schilling vehicles, and to this day it doesn't work right. It locks the joystick out. It does exactly how this system does it. It drives me nuts. And probably, I don't know, at least half a dozen times since then I've put in, there's a thing you can put in for, you know, I want it to do this or that. And they always ignore me. It's the same software guy. It's been there for, there it is, just dumped.
Yeah.
Wonder why it did that.
That's curious. Maybe because it's an auto heading, so maybe it.
Oh, yeah.
Might need to slow up on Argus a bit there now. I'm going back the other way.
Your port horizontal's getting about pegged too. That's fighting.
Yeah.
stick adjustment to 15 meters a minute.
That sounds good.
Stick adjustment failure. Okay, 15.
Stick adjustment failure.
So you must be right on the edge of demanding too much flow, overcoming the pump. So you do put some forward way on, streaming as you call it, at 300?
Yeah, typically, even if we have enough current, just because at the subsurface currents, you know, just getting it, giving Herc a little bit of help until we get to the surface, and then if we got enough surface current, I just cut it. But if we have not much surface current, I leave it streaming.
And you get some information there on what surface current is?
Yeah, so we don't have a direct measurement of the current. It's just all the forces the ship's feeling besides wind binned in one category that it says is current. But with the ROVs in the water, it affects that measurement. It's also, it's like I said, and especially in low wind, it gets a bit kooky. I think there's also some directions that the wind could be coming from that aren't sensed very well due to occlusion by something wherever the wind sensor is. It's like a little Doppler, and I think there's something in the way. So then if you're not piping in the correct vector or wind speed, then it overcompensates for current, and then that's incorrect as well. Because it's still, the computer is still able to stay in position because it says, oh, I must be feeling this, therefore it must be current. But if your wind sensor is a bit off, then that'll cause the same. At least this is my current understanding of this situation.
Yeah, sounds logical.
Yeah.
So it's saying it has a half knot of current at the moment?
It's saying it's at, yep, and we're facing into it. So it could be a bit of the vehicles in the back. Or could be somewhat accurate. A bit of swell, but it's pretty calm out there.
It says down in the bottom left there, current at 313.5.
Yeah. That's the way it's, yeah, current and wind have the opposite. So wind is the direction that it's coming from, and current is the direction that it's going.
Yeah.
That's a bit annoying.
It's that way all the time.
Yeah.
So I always remember by a stream.
By stream, yeah.
Yeah, flowing to or downhill.
Yeah, where's it flowing to?
The downhill analogy, I guess.
Downhill, that makes sense, yeah. It's a good way to remember it. I just always, it's the wind that messes me up, is the way the wind is not. It's not the way it's blowing, it's the way it's, where it's coming from. Facing into it.
Yeah. So the current heading, this box here is, that's the ship's heading, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the heading is at 125.5 and moving, and the set point's at 125. What's that current heading button do?
But over here it says current and then 314. What's up with that?
Where's that?
In the bottom left quadrant.
314. Oh, that's the current. Yeah, that's the current, like water current. Whereas current heading is if you were, I'm pretty sure. Again, I've never operated this. I've just watched it operated. But if
Right.
you were changing your heading to a different set point, say you called in a move to 180 right now, and you started to make that move, and then you decided to not do that, and you just hit current heading, it would, whatever heading you were at, say you only made it to 145, and you hit current heading, then it sets the set point at 145.
Right.
That's English for you. Current being the moment and
Yeah.
the water.
Right now.
Yeah. And minimum power is what the computer thinks is that's that red triangle that the ship is facing at currently. But
This thing has a shuttle in it. Is that what this is representing? The
um
big rotary.
yeah, that's moving around according to how we are shooting water. And I think the green is the goal, that green triangle, and then the red is what's actually doing. So it's always chasing the green.
And it can never ever get there.
No, it'll never match. And then the white arrow CTRL, that's the control. So that's what the ship has to do. That's what the jet pump's doing to, or the power that the jet pump and bow thruster are using to stay in position.
Mm-hmm.
But we're about to switch over to a new DP computer system.
Really?
And I know nothing. Yeah, it's all set up in the front and everything on the bridge, but I know nothing about that software. I don't operate it, but I would like to know what the screen shows. Presumably all of the same information in a different form. So I have to retrain my eyes.
A commercial system, or is it
Yeah, it is, and I don't know the name of it.
a
yeah.
commercial DP system?
I believe so, yeah.
It's probably like a Kongsberg, or
I'm not sure. I don't know. But yeah, we still have this one installed, obviously, because we're using it. But so they have this whole new station at the
on the bridge.
the port side of the bridge computer row, the bridge control row.
Is it a blue console, like a dark blue?
No, I don't. Well, I couldn't tell you. I haven't looked at it for long enough.
Now you're dumping flow.
Actually, let's see if it's up right now. Hold on. No, we don't have DP2 piped
Oh,
in
and your
here.
amps dropped.
Yeah.
30s.
Let me see. I'll take this screen away from you for a moment. See if I can. It might be on screensaver mode, but DP is piped into the KVM. DP2 is. Channel and Argus test. I don't know what's going on there. DP2 view. Yeah, it's just got a screensaver on. Bummer.
The black screensaver.
Yeah, maybe it's just off. Hey, go back.
I'll have to go check it out. I haven't been on the bridge yet.
You never have, or just this?
Just the strip. I haven't.
Yeah.
To remember to ask permission when I walk in.
Yeah, that's right. You better.
And not whistle when you go in.
No, Mike whistles on the boat. Like I tell him all the time, you're going to whistle up a storm. He don't cotton to that old maritime tradition stuff, which is really strange being from Newfoundland.
No. What's up, Rennie? I'm lateraling all the way over so I can lateral this way and get the 17 meters a minute.
No, you're fine. I was just looking at the depth and the vertical velocity and the time to surface. Looked like it hadn't changed, and but I think it's just subtle changes.
Oh, we still have an hour.
Yeah. That's why, yeah, I was like, we still have an hour, but now we're at 880 meters. I thought we had an hour when we were at,
Oh,
I think we slowed down.
We're actually perfectly on time. If you look at that, 62 minutes on surface at 4 o'clock.
That's great.
It's true. That's true.
I think we nailed it.
If you can maintain that blistering 15 meters a minute.
Right.
Blistering.
Might have to go for a drop weight, Jess.
Fly up.
I think we're only allowed 4 for the whole leg, though, or something like this.
4 drop weights?
Something
It's
like this.
10.
Is it 10?
But I don't know. The
What was
question of
where'd the 4 come
what
from?
is 1?
Is it 10 for the whole leg then?
I think it's 10 for the whole leg.
Oh, I thought it was 4. Oh, never mind.
But yeah, but what is 1? You know, if 2 are together, is that 1?
I was joking on the drop weights. I remember the first time I came up with this thing, I was doing like 10 meters a minute. I'm going, what's wrong with this thing? It won't come up. Usually that's my rate of ascent when I float.
Yeah.
But when I let go of it, I like to come up about 10 meters a minute.
It's that starboard bio box right under the vertical thruster, really.
Oh.
Well, Bob's like, drop them drop weights. What? What are you talking about, drop weights?
Oh, because you probably never,
No,
you don't typically need
we have
them.
to pick up everything we leave
Yeah.
on the seabed.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the only science ROV I know that does that.
Huh.
Interesting.
It was a good Bob impression.
I'm sure Jason does it, being the close cousin to Alvin that they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've mentioned it on other systems, and people look at me like I'm from frickin' Mars.
Really?
We can't drop stuff. What are you talking about? Can't we take lead and we just throw it off? It never occurred to me to use steel plates.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've been looking at Alvin ones forever.
Well, there's a whole lot of them.
That's what these are, aren't they?
Steel, yeah.
Yeah,
But they're
there's
Alvin weights, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them in the crane hold.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I think that might be why on a call-out system the guys would resist packing a bunch of steel around. So something else you got to
Yeah.
Worry about, yeah.
hump around, you know.
Never thought about it that way. They have to bring it, whereas we have the ship.
Yeah, you have some huge advantages on this system having your own ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them being the ability to run an unlimited number of cables.
Unlimited.
Unlimited. So people
Really
seem to
is
be taking that
limitless.
to heart. See a bunch of the legacy cables. Especially those ones running to the bridge.
I like the
From the
bundle
van
right
to the-
here.
Oh yeah.
No, there's like another one behind there. There's 8 of them that were just.
Sandwiched.
You put your boots on or no?
Nah. We got my sneakers.
Me too.
Who's so 4 to 8 is Mike and
Kylie.
Kylie.
Oh.
And then Allison's up. Mark.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
Allison's winch, or winch and crane probably.
Mike and Kylie are on deck. Mark. Yeah, that does it, right?
Probably need one more person, but yeah.
So, you want to run me through the recovery thing? Do I need to do anything? Run away and
Don't run away.
can
So
we do
yeah.
something on deck or?
No, you'll be up here with me. And so we'll bring up the Argus camera to the horizontal position there.
Oh yeah.
Then you'll all stop on the winch at 50 meters. And if I'm good, I'll just basically keep going up. And then they'll pull you up from down there. We'll kind of just watch it here, and you'll turn off all your lights. And also the HD camera at a certain point, I'll let you know. It's because it like gets shots of weird angles.
Blue water.
Like people.
Oh.
Then yeah, so we'll basically try to aim to be like streamlined out behind the A-frame.
Right.
And then once we're in the middle of the A-frame, I basically like act as a tag line for you until they get you aboard. Then once they get you aboard, then I give it sock, and then they'll kind of take off the lift line, take off the daisy chain. And they'll be putting the daisy chain into that little bin we have on deck. So I just kind of like hang out by the A-frame, give it a sock. They'll start to haul in a little bit on the lift line. So I just kind of slack it out. Don't give it a lot of tension for that either. Excuse me. And then basically once they have you on the crane, you just kind of make sure that you don't back into the ship. Don't really back up, but just kind of stay, give it a little bit of tension, but not a lot. Then they'll go from perpendicular off the stern to a 45-degree angle off the stern. Then they'll suck up there a little bit more, and then they'll go then perpendicular off the port side. Then they'll suck up a little bit more there, and then I'll just do a 45-degree heading change on Herc, and then they'll pull us out of the water. And once we come out of the water, they'll tell us to kill the high voltage cabinet. Once the high voltage cabinet is killed there, then we go down to the high voltage room, or rather the Argus pilot goes down the high voltage cabinet, and then turns off a key, and then turns off the breaker. And then also remove the key. Key before breaker. And then we go tell Mark that the high voltage cabinet secured. And then we're done.
That little toggle switch is the big squeaks.
Yeah, little toggle switch is the big wheel. The big doohickey.
It's a little switch for giant squiggles.
That's true.
So basically we're both in here until we go to secure the high voltage cabinet.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we can go on deck and play.
Then we go on deck and play. Yeah.
It's on my list as well. It's not very often, but sometimes everyone will be gone, and I'll see that the cabinet's still on. And then I call down.
That would be.
But the new protocol, or it seems to be more prevalent now, is that the Herc pilot stays up here until that cabinet is secured.
Yeah.
Just in case something was to happen, I guess, with that switch. But
yeah.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But for a while, it was kind of like I would be watching here, waiting for that thing to be turned off.
Yeah.
And then call down after, after a bit of time.
Yeah.
I can never understand why ROV pilots like to sit in the dark.
Sit in the dark?
Hey, turn off power and they're still sitting there at the console. I'm like, dude,
yeah,
use some help on deck out
it's
here.
like
you know?
you're, what's...
Of the sweat,
You're
broken
used to
thing
it.
that's coming on board.
Yeah. This broken thing.
Hopefully not broken.
At the
knock
very,
on
at the
wood.
very least, it's a wet thing needing maintenance.
Can I put aft cam in Argus? Replace Argus with aft.
Sure.
When did we get AFCAM back?
There we go.
Sometime during the night, I guess, yeah? Or the butt cam on.
Oh yeah, the butt.
Sorry, when did we get the butt cam back?
Yeah,
I think it
that
was
was when we switched the BNC with
yeah.
the down cam.
but I thought it went out. Oh no, it's dash cam and down.
It's dash and down that are out right now.
Roger.
Yeah.
So, is there any reason I can't tilt this camera up now?
We just kind of live stream the blue because it's better than the black.
Oh, it won't have light if I tilt it up.
Yeah.
So, I ignored the stops like way back when.
Yeah, you just have to visually monitor it there to make sure you don't like beat up a hard stop.
Right. Oh, you're down to 30 something amps again.
Yeah.
Dump and flow.
Yeah. It's still in the 2000s.
We're so hilariously exactly on time for this recovery. Like, as far as like, it's like 49 minutes, right? And we got 49 minutes.
Yeah, it's insane. I thought we were going to be way late.
Yeah.
I have to suffer the wrath of Mark.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. The wrath.
Hopefully the
Jess would probably sweet talk him to.
Start bribing people. I bribe people, see. Candy bars and cookies is what we get. Bribery here. Interesting that I can't really lateral anymore. I guess there's just a current pushing me against it.
I think you're 0.7 from 317, according to that.
Sorry?
0.7. Wow.
0.7 has picked up a bit.
Yeah.
That's
That explains why I have some lateral jam. And then not really going lateraling anymore. Which means I'll keep that lateral on so I don't keep floating about in the current.
yeah. I expect it'll be. Usually it's like, you'll see the current vector is like, if it's anywhere off of directly back, you know, that's when we gotta worry. Because if it's at the surface and it's going like this, then under the surface it might be like this. And that's what's pretty hard to overcome without some fancy maneuvering.
Yeah.
Always loath to change the ship setting.
Yeah. If it's not too swelly or anything out there, you could change heading, but I end up just at the surface. I do steps and it works out pretty well.
Better to move than change their heading.
Yeah.
Every time I've tried that, it's gone bad.
Yeah. Because even if you overshoot a step, if you do just a 10-meter step and it's too much, it'll come back, you know.
So the steps are
To port or to starboard,
right.
usually 10 meters at a time, and
no
it's
heading
enough
change.
to compensate. So if you're off too far to starboard, and I'll have a ship move 10 meters starboard, and you'll be centered again, and then you might start to drift off again, call it another one, but
I see.
for the most part it gets sorted. And some of it is just, you know, you have some power at the surface too, where you can lateral over, and you know, even if we didn't make a field goal, we can get there.
Yeah.
But it's if you're having trouble staying there, that's the main issue.
Yeah.
You never turn and burn on this system? You never turn your head and fly?
Well, not while we're recovering Argus, at least, because
you need that.
it would
You
be
need that
yanking.
tail. Yeah.
But if Argus is already on deck, you could angle and drive a little bit. But I've never really seen anyone do it, mainly because I think they want to give a little bit of tension. They don't want to get the tether slack in the water.
Yeah.
But
Or yeah, you want to give tension when Argus is coming aboard,
yeah.
but not when people are holding onto the line.
Yeah, Herc's the tagline.
Yeah, tripod tagline.
It works pretty well.
Yeah.
How's it going? You're up early.
Tried any mint tea? Have you tried any of the mint tea for it?
This is one that you left on the ship last year.
I'm not sure. Or Gabby, I think, drinks the same stuff. She brought some more.
Interesting. What's that? Presumably so. No. No overriding powers for us. What's that?
Yes. Yeah, I plan on it. Is that all right? I think that'll work. Also, let Mark know that we're at 300 once we get there. Just because he doesn't have a wrap indicator anymore. Oh, there he is. Sometimes I play this game where I'm not going to do it now. I've already missed the moment, but my favorite pastime is, so he goes and he checks to see if there's air on the tuggers. And then he'll call up to say, can you get air on the tuggers? But I'll preempt it, so I'll see that he's going over to check, and I'll call the bridge real quick, and they'll put it on. And so he checks and it's not there, and he calls up, and he says, can you get air on the tuggers? And I go, you should have it. And he checks again, and it actually works. It's just like, I can rarely time it. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that that I have this game, but.
So you missed it this time?
I think so. I'm a little too late. We'll see. Bridge nav. Can we secure the tanks and enable air to tuggers? Thank you.
I like the mind games that you play there,
Yeah.
Rennie. That's a
It's
good
just
one.
for me. He doesn't know about it. For the record, I think that's only been successful like one time. Doesn't like the look of that pole.
No. It's not an acceptable pull.
No. I always think about that when I'm on the deck. Because when I'm up here, I am just like Mystery Science Theater live narrating everyone on the back deck. I think about that when I'm out there. I'm like, man, what are they saying about me? I judge everyone's, he's going to check the tugger again. Oh, we don't have it still. Dang it. I missed it.
You should have it now.
He should, but I don't know if, I couldn't tell if he got, if it went out or not when he tugged it. He's very predictable. That's why I can narrate it.
He is predictable.
Yeah. It's good though. It's really helpful.
It's a requirement for what he's doing out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having that constant is really helpful.
Definitely comforting.
Yeah.
I was laughing when you were launching Argus. You look like a little mini Mark out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
The body posture and everything was exactly the same.
Mini Mark.
Jess versus 5,000 pounds of Argus.
I love his explanation of it. You're not supposed to take out that motion. You're just supposed to act as like one extra counterbalance to help stabilize it.
Roger that.
When he says that, I'm like, okay, I can do that. I can be a counterbalance. Rennie, do you think that when do you think that last updated? Do you think we're no, okay, it's still updating.
USBL?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be good till
200.
even shallower. We're
Really?
good. We're good until even 50 should be okay. It starts to get, but we get good pings until about 30 meters.
Okay.
Because you figure we operate pretty shallow too.
True.
It'll be the key thing is to stop trusting it at 50 meters. Just rely on the butt cams, because sometimes people will be trained on this and everything looks good.
Yeah.
And then everything gets to the surface, you're like, what are we doing over there? We were supposed to be this.
Yeah.
But it's only in the case of extreme cross current. But yeah, I'm always tempted to just shut this thing down, shut it off. But that's also like some sort of source of comfort.
It's a strange sort of comfort, yeah.
It was hard to rip some of the people off of DVL nav, like just because the screen looks different. People have been using that for 10, 20 years. Like, wow. I want to see this.
But it doesn't work on the surface.
Yeah, that's